From Commando.com, it's Mike James and your tech news today for Wednesday, August 1st. And coming up in just a bit, remember the old argument that Apple computers never get scammed? We'll tell you more about that. There's something new called SamSam, and it's a scam that you need to know about. There's an update to the Snowden leak, and how long does it take a robotic hand to learn how to juggle? All that and more coming up in Tech News Today from the news desk at Commando.com. We start with a sneaky scam that's targeting Apple users. The attack goes like this. You get an email saying that your iPhone has been locked because of illegal activity. And just like these phishing emails always do, they try to get you to click over to a fake site where the scam really starts taking over. Well, now, since you've seen this one before, the scammers are trying a new tactic. This email launches a system dialog box to start a phone call. On some phones, it looks like it's trying to start a FaceTime session. Either way, it makes it look very official and urgent, which is what these crooks are counting on. If you continue, you get connected to a fake Apple Care phone call, which will try to grab your information or money. One threat researcher says these scams work best on mobile users because people are so busy and distracted. They also trust their smartphone more than their regular computer. So, what can you do to protect yourself? Check simple things on the suspicious emails like spelling and grammar. That never seems to be correct all the way through. Also, never click a link to an email that you weren't expecting. Never give out your information if you don't know who you're giving it to. We have more tech news ahead. Right now, a quick thank you to our partners at Udemy.
If you know anything at all about me, you know I'd love a great podcast, like the one you're listening to right now. And not only do I get to host a couple of podcasts every week, I'm also a big podcast listener. Podcasts allow me to go deeper into subjects, which is why podcasts are incredible tools for not only entertainment, but also learning. So let me turn you on to Udemy. What's your passion? At Udemy, you can learn anything. And when I say anything, I'm telling you that Udemy offers more than 65,000 courses on, well, anything. And it's the largest space for online learning. It has something truly for everyone. You want to become a better investor, photographer, gardener, writer, or maybe teacher? How about web developer or something really different? Maybe tarot cards. You'll find it at Udemy. But what if you're an expert on something? Maybe you're an expert photographer or teacher. Then sign up as a Udemy instructor. You can earn money and sell your class right from their website.
Get started from anywhere, your smartphone, tablet, or computer. That's ude.my/thisweek. Right now, get 90% off when you sign up for classes. That's ude.my/thisweek. Here's more top tech news for you. Another scary scam. This time it's ransomware, and it's conned people out of almost $6 million. The ransomware, called SamSam, first showed up in December in 2015. It wasn't like the other email-based scams, which go out to hundreds of thousands of people in the hopes that some will fall for it. These attacks instead were very targeted. They were sent to certain targets to break into a computer network. Then the crooks would check out the network and run malware in the system. The crooks would then demand tens of thousands of dollars in ransom to stop. And it first looked like this attack went after healthcare, government, and education targets. But a study found that it was mostly regular people who got hit. They just didn't report it as much. It's crazy how the attacks happened. Overnight, when the victims were sleeping, the attackers would try to push past bad passwords again and again until they finally succeeded. Then they would lock up the victims' files until they paid a ransom, which sometimes grew to as much as $50,000. So that's a lot more than these ransomware attacks usually charge. So how do you protect yourself? Well, the experts say multi-factor authentication, and that means your computer needs both a password and an okay from either a text or an email before it will let you or anybody else in. It is a little more involved, but it's worth doing to protect yourself. Here's a story that's blowing up right now. Facebook has news about the upcoming elections, and it's not good. The company says it's found dozens of fake Facebook and Instagram accounts and profiles. Part of it is a coordinated campaign to influence the midterm elections. Facebook says it found several of these accounts 2 weeks ago. In all, Facebook removed 32 pages and accounts. Some were actually connected to protests planned in Washington next week. These were pretty widely followed accounts, and one had 290,000 followers. Everybody's first question, is it the Russians? Facebook answer, they don't know, but Facebook says it's possible. Facebook is working with the FBI to investigate. After shrugging its shoulders at the 2016 elections, Facebook is now trying to keep anybody from using them to mess with the elections this time around. It's using artificial intelligence and human reviewers to find fake accounts and suspicious activity. It also is now making political advertisers in the U.S. register, and it's making all political ads visible in a public database so everybody can see who's paying for what. Radio's been doing that for years, so's TV. Here's a tech advancement that's turning into a big setback. 3D printing has a lot of promise, and people are printing everything from toys to homes using the technology. But there's a dark side, and this time it's printed guns. There are a lot of hoops you have to jump through to buy a regular gun, like background checks. But anybody with the right equipment can print a 3D gun, and that means people who wouldn't be allowed to have a gun in the first place. They're printed with plastic and can slip right by security and metal detectors at airports. That is a scary prospect. Imagine somebody sneaking a gun into a school or sporting event or onto an airplane. A lot of people could get hurt. Well, after a lawsuit, blueprints for these guns have been posted online and thousands of people have downloaded them. Several states have sued over the blueprints, saying that printed guns are a danger. President Trump has also said he's not happy about this. These blueprints first hit the internet in 2013 with hundreds of thousands of downloads. Now, the State Department has ordered them removed, and the whole mess went to court. Now, after years in court, they're back up, and people are worried, as they should be. This story is the opposite of sportsmanship. A Florida high school football team found a new way to cheat online. It looked up rival schools' practice and game videos. There's a site out there called Huddle that coaches use to store videos, and colleges use the videos to scout and recruit players. Coaches from Braden River High School in Sarasota, Florida, used college recruiting accounts to break into other schools' accounts and look around. They looked at video from 4 high schools, which they ended up playing. Another coach says that if a rival got into his team's video, they'd know the first 20 plays they were going to call in the next game. So it sounds like the coaches are just going to get a hand slap, though. The district is leaving the punishment up to the school and says that they just want to get past the event, which is good news for the cheating coaches. And by the way, what kind of lessons are you teaching your kids when you do this, Coach? This isn't the first time high-tech cheating has been uncovered in sports, of course. In 2016, a scouting director for the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team broke into a Major League Baseball's personnel and email system. He ended up finding out some secret information about players, trades, statistics, scouting reports, and that case ended up with the scout sentenced to 46 months in jail. Hey, remember when Edward Snowden stole and revealed the secrets about the National Security Agency? Well, of course. Everybody remembers that. Some of you have probably even seen the movie. That was a huge mess for the spy agency in 2013, and whether you think Snowden was a traitor or a hero, he got those secrets from holes in the NSA's security. Well, now an audit says the agency hasn't plugged all those holes yet, even after 5 years. Now, you'd think they would have learned by now. After all, Snowden took hundreds of thousands of files, but the agency's security is still spotty. The audit said the NSA's security plans are inaccurate or incomplete. It also said the agency isn't requiring a version of two-factor authentication to access data, something we just talked about a few minutes ago. In other words, any one person can get all the information they need without oversight. Also, plugins like thumb drives aren't being properly scanned for viruses or other things that could take down a computer system. The NSA did draw up a plan of 40 specific recommendations to lock down their sensitive data, but apparently didn't roll it out properly. So what does all this mean? Another Edward Snowden type attack could still happen again, and the NSA isn't ready for it. Let's hope the NSA gets the hint and locks things down, just like you and I. Here's a little bright spot in the news today, and the answer to a question you never asked. how long does it take a robotic hand to learn how to juggle? The answer, about 100 years. Researchers at OpenAI, an artificial intelligence lab funded by Elon Musk, have been training a robot to juggle. And in the meantime, OpenAI had Google run simulations on thousands of computers at the same time. That way, they could find out the answer without having to wait years. Well, they did get their answer after running computer simulations for 48 hours. Then, they put the answer to use in the real world by training the robotic hand. It had to learn how to hold the cube the right way so it wouldn't drop it, for example. So what are the researchers running this project trying to find out? OpenAI is working on artificial general intelligence. That is, machines that think and learn like humans. Anybody heard of the Matrix?
We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
AI? You mean artificial intelligence?
A singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines.
Yep, we're in big trouble. Hey, by the way, once you're done listening to the podcast, do us a favor and give us a good rating on wherever you listen to the podcast. That helps more people find it, and we do appreciate it. And finally, for today's Commando Kicker, here's a gut feeling that turned out well. A man in Delaware, Andrew Dara, said he was feeling lucky, so he spent $600 on a book of scratch-off lottery tickets. That's 24 tickets for $25 each. With the 11th ticket, he did hit the jackpot, winning $10,000. Now, the lucky guy will pay off his work van and put the rest in the bank until he wants to go down and spend a bunch of money on a bunch of lottery tickets, and he'll be broke again. And for more interesting facts, go to Commando.com and search for the Commando Kicker. And that's your Tech News Today. A special thanks to our partners at Udemy.